Happy Friday, boys and girls. It's April 10th. Yesterday seemed to run a little bit smoother, hopefully for you. I hope that's true and I'm not just dreaming it. Thanks for checking your email. I was able to get in touch with more of you, and that just is a nice feeling. Remember to listen to Miss Haney's morning message if you haven't already done so. I just want to say, you guys are rock stars. Today's shout outs go to Audra and Emmett because they've had their reading group responses written out. We're ready to share. It seemed like they took it to the next level. So way to go, Audra and Emmett. I have to say the sloths are I have to shout out for the sloths. That's Caden, Aubrey, Hudson, and Taylor. You guys were rock stars because you were the only reading group that had 100% participation both days. And that means everyone showed up. So way to go, sloths. And Mia, she had 25 color words for her brainstorming. And a special thanks to Hudson. She took some of her afternoon yesterday and helped me with Dreambox. So thanks, Hudson, for taking time out of your day. Our daily check for the review of yesterday, we had color poems. And color poems, I just said, are they written horizontally or vertically? And that was half and half, but it is horizontally because we write everything horizontally first. We write across this way. And then the only reason why acrostic was vertical is because that word was the focus. So, yes, color poems, haikus that we're going to learn next week, free verse, autobiographical, those are all poems that are written horizontally. Everyone got this one. Easter is, in fact, a holiday. So I just wanted to say happy Easter. And some people got the jobs in the Middle Ages. We had farmers back then. We had blacksmiths back then. We had candle makers back then because they did not have the technology we have nowadays. There was no president. There was a king. There was no football players. No, they didn't have time for that. And secretaries. Secretaries was like an office with paper, typing. There was none of that. So it was farmer, blacksmith, and candle maker. Our math question, it says 200 plus 300 subtract 50 plus 100, and you should have had 550. Okay, so think about this mentally. The most people got that. The second most popular answer was 650. So can you think what error those students did? Again, it was 200 plus 300 subtract 50 plus 100. And if you thought they did not read the operation and did not subtract that 50, you are correct. Okay, so I'm going to give double high fives today because there was only 2 students that got all of those correct. And so double high fives go to 4 and 5. So way to go. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, so to carry on, we're going to say that, let's see. Today is our class meeting at 11 o'clock. And I'm just going to have that scheduled for every Friday at 11 o'clock. Come to the class meeting if you'd like to see your friends. And that way it's set and we're not switching it. On that note, every Thursday, starting next week, we are going to have the rest of our STAR students. So it's at 11 o'clock on Thursdays. I sent an email to your parents just so you can save the date. Everyone, when you were a STAR student in class, people were there. So just try to have that same consideration. I know some things are out of our control, but if you can make it, then come to our STAR student meeting. It will be less than 10 minutes. They will be timed. They're going to get a little bit more time than 5 minutes, just because of sometimes we have a slower connection, and because we're going to be on mute and we have to unmute it to ask the question of our STAR students. So that's going to be a little bit longer than 5, but they are still going to have a time. So on Thursday, the 16th, which is next Thursday, Emmett will be our first remote STAR student, and then he will pick who's going to be the following week's STAR student. So every day, just because we don't see his poster, every day I'm just going to give a shout out to the STAR student, whoever that is. So Emmett is our STAR student starting today, and then he'll run until next Thursday, and then he'll pick the STAR student, and then they start on Friday until Thursday. And then we'll talk about you doing a gift for them and what's that going to look like. Okay. Also, tomorrow in the class meeting, if you can mute when you come to class meeting, so then that way we don't pick up on background noise like dogs barking or your other siblings running around the house. So, hopefully my dog won't bark. Okay, writing. Today we're going to get started writing. We're going to finish up our poem. So we're going to publish it now. You're going to watch the video, excuse me, the little mini lesson. So you're going to open up your document and then make it as this is it. It's final. It's coming to me, and I am not going to change anything. So it will be published the way that you send it to me. So I'm suggesting that you read it out loud to make sure first you read it to yourself to see if you want to do any final changes. Then read it out loud just to make sure. We have seen that when we do that in class, we catch our errors. So let's, just keep working like if we were in class. And then you're going to end up sending it to me. Then do that for the second poem. You need to turn in 2 different color poems, okay? In reading today, you're going to do Raz. Before you go into Raz and start that, I would check your email, because if I've had to change your level because you struck out, or if you are ready for a quiz, I'm going to give you the choice of quiz. You can tell me and then send it to me, and I will try to get that up within the hour that you send it to me. So you'll have time to do the quiz, and that will count for your Raz. In Epic, you're going to go to Epic. You're going to spend another 20 minutes in Epic, at least, reading the book and then filling out the form about if it was fiction. On the form, I have the F. So the F, and then it will say characters. If you're reading a nonfiction book, it will have NF, and then it will have the category. So it might say, with fiction, it might say what was the problem, and with nonfiction, what did you learn? One neat thing I learned about Epic is that if you put your cursor and kind of hover your cursor over a word, it will say the word out loud. It will pronounce it, and then it will define what that word is. So if you weren't quite sure what I don't know, any of the words, put your cursor over that. Or if you're like, I don't know how to pronounce that word, put your cursor over it and it will say it. I thought that was so amazing yesterday. Okay, so enjoy Epic. They have so many books. And this is, you could just travel with books in your mind. Okay, and spelling, we're going to go ahead and someone in your household hopefully can give you a spelling test. And this time you're going to fill out the form and you're going to tell me how many words you got right. You have 15 words. So how many did you get right out of the 15? And then you're going to list the words you got wrong. Okay, so I just want to kind of get how you're doing on spelling. In social studies, we're going to be in the Revolutionary War this time. So it's an amazing time. Go ahead, watch the little video, my little videos that I do, history. Hopefully you've been watching those. It kind of gives you an overall picture. And then you're going to watch I have 2 videos on the Revolutionary War, then go into the form, fill it out of what you learned about the Revolutionary War. And then we have phonics. You're going to spend 10 to 20 minutes on phonics, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying that. On shared reading, you're just going to go into RAS and take the quiz on the Great China Wall. On math, we're going to go ahead and spend 30 minutes on Dreambox. Remember to complete in 30 minutes. I want you to be in there for 30 minutes. Within that 30 minutes, you should be able to finish 3 or more of your assignments. If you have the assignment, it has the clipboard. If you go into a land or activity, then and there's no clipboard, then that means you have mastered it because you might have not had as many as others. So first you need to finish those clipboards. After you do the clipboards, then continue to stay in there for the 30 minutes because I'm going to be looking at the time. That's what they are suggesting. So we're going to just take their suggestions. Afterwards, I have a link for some math facts. And it's just a quick little game. It's on ABC, and it's math facts, and it could do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And it has easy, medium, hard. So I think that would be a nice, fun way to just maybe spend 5 minutes on it to just practice those fluency skills and then call it a day. Hopefully, if you have any work that you haven't turned in, this is the time to do it if you want to have a 3-day weekend. If not, you're going to have your Makeup Monday. So do it. So over the weekend, I will inform you on Monday morning. You'll have an email. So check your emails Monday morning. Any missing work or incomplete work, and then use that Makeup Monday to make it up, because after that, I'm going to remove those. Any undone work will just receive a 0, and then we'll start a new week. The thing I'm encouraging you guys to do is put your names on your forms and your papers. Okay, because if I'm missing it, and if it was a form, you're going to have to go back in there and fill it out, unfortunately. That's something that we've been talking about all year, is to put your name on your paper. So I think that's it. So hopefully have a fantastic Friday. I'll see you later. Have a happy Easter, and I'll see you at class meeting. Okay, peace.